Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Apologies for the tardiness. I got held up, work and then the supermarket. But anyway, let's get on to it. I've got my Carwyn Cellars glass, and tonight's first beer is just a basic pale ale, Victorian, Bridge Road Brewers. It's called Beechworth Pale Ale, and it is at 4.8%. Pretty solid pale ale, this one. I'll read what it says on the back. Crafted with care since 2005, Beechworth Pale is a new world ale with old school integrity. It's the beer lover's favourite. One thing I remember with Bridge Road, like they're based up in it's sort of a small little historic touristy town up near not far from like the Murray River region up the top of Victoria. And they're known for they've got like old pubs and an old jail where you can do tours, and all the streets are old cobblestone with big drains. It's like going to a town back in time. And they've got like a really good bakery, like a candy store. It's just cool little town anyway. So that's where the brewery's based. They've just recently, during the pandemic, I think, started a bar in Melbourne, and they took a while to get things going just because of the pandemic and probably a bit tight for money at the time. They started off with everything being cardboard, and I was like, that's awesome. So like the bar, all the seats, like even like chandeliers hanging from the roof, like everything in the bar was cardboard, and it was real clever the way they did it. And then all of a sudden it just transformed into this bar. But it's in Brunswick. I think it's in Brunswick East, and it's in an area where there's like a heap of sort of high rise well, not really high rise, but apartments with a couple of stories and that. So it's sort of a little community bar. I haven't been back there since the cardboard days, but I'll have to go check it out. But anyway, their beers like this are pretty solid generally. They do a few limiteds. Like they've got one called, I think it's the Bomber. I don't know if it's the B2 Bomber or something like that. And it's like a big dark beer, and it changes over the years, but they still bring it out as like a annual thing. Normally that's pretty good. They do like a winter warmer that's really nice. But yeah, I haven't had this pale for a while, so I thought, why not? Good one to start the night off on. So yeah, another pretty cruisy night at work. Looks nice in the glass. So yeah, take the hand away. It's like probably a medium straw colour, maybe a touch sort of orange. It's got about a 3-finger white foamy head, and yeah, a bit of chill haze to it. Lively carbonation. It's actually got bubbles going nuts in it. I would say body's probably light to medium. Let's go a whiff. And cheers to the chat too. We have Evie and Adam. Good to see you. I've had half a dinner so far. Yeah, I'm going to have some more food a bit later. Yeah. It's always hard doing afternoon shift because dinner time's right in the middle of the shift, and if you're busy at work, you sort of don't get a chance to stop. So yeah, it has no information about hops or anything like that. On the nose, you're getting like a touch of, I would say, orange. It's almost like a blood orange. Maybe some tangerine, possibly some grapefruit. It's like mainly citrus. Biscuit malt. Maybe a little bit of like caramel toffee. Definitely smells more sort of like American pale ale. But yeah, I'm not really getting like a piney resinous thing where it's going to be real bitter or anything like that. It's mainly sweet from the malt. Nice little glass, this one. Yeah, quite often, dude. What's the one called that they do annually and it's a dark beer? Is it the B2 Bomber or the Bomber Mac 2 or something like that? Can't think of the name. Whenever they pull it out at festivals, that's really good. But I have heard a lot of people say that this year's version's pretty like poor. Yeah. Did you say you're working from home or you're in the office? I can't remember, or a bit of both. Anyway, I better get into this bad boy. I'm already running late, so cheers. Ooh. So that's the kind of pale ale I enjoy. So like starts off sweet. It's got a good sort of base to it. You're getting plenty of flavour, like caramel, even like bready as well. Biscuity. Like it's a nice malt base. And then yeah, you're getting like sort of delicate hop notes. It's like enough there to sort of balance out the malt. But like it feels like it's punchy flavour for only what was it, 4.8%. It's just that type of beer that you could easily smash and like want more. It's the main reason why I picked this beer up because I always remember when I first got into craft, when I drink this beer, I'd always be like, yeah, this is a good pale ale. So I'm glad it's still sort of like I still have that same opinion of it. Because yeah, it's been ages since I've had it. I know when I've been to festivals, like when they have sour festivals, as in wild ales and all that sort of stuff. Whenever Bridge Road has a stand, I've hated their sour stuff. Just cannot stand it at all. Like it's all terrible. And another brewery that I love that has shit sour beers is Blackman's. They're out of Torquay. Like awesome brewery, awesome people, but they do a side project of sour stuff, and it's just yeah, just terrible. Yeah, very smashable. Very, very enjoyable. I don't know what it is that makes it a great pale ale, but yeah, I really enjoy it. It does have a little touch of pine and earth. But yeah, as I said, it's more. I feel like it's more about the malt with this one. Finishes off a little bit of dry, and there's probably like mild bitterness. I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I think of it, when when we had the real harsh lockdowns here in Melbourne, I got a feeling this guy, like this husband and wife that own this brewery, got stuck overseas and they couldn't get home. I got a feeling they were in Europe somewhere and they weren't allowed back to Melbourne for like ages. It'd be pretty tough if you own a business and you're not even allowed to come back home to run it. Very nice. It's good just to have a basic beer like this and be impressed by it. Did you see Juzzy's video earlier, Evie? I seen he went live, but yeah, I was obviously at work. B2 Bomber. Yeah, I thought it was called that. Comes in at 15%. Yeah, so a lot of my beer mates that have tried it this year have said they just didn't rate it at all, and they're all people that have loved it in the past. So yeah, I really want to try it, but I don't want to go out and seek a bottle and pay good money for it if it's shit. I'd rather like go to the brewery and try it on tap. That's the thing, though. Sometimes you go to the brewery and have it on tap, and it can be a completely different beer than what's in like the bottles. So I'm doing an American craft beer after this one. I'm going to do a Salamaker hazy. So Salamaker are out of California. They're a brewery with a little bit of hype to them, but I don't think they have massive distribution. Um, but yeah, anyway, I picked up a hazy and a West Coast from them, and yeah, I'm going to do the hazy tonight. Yeah, cool. $40 a bottle. Yeah, exactly. See, I just need to go to the brewery and I don't know. You'd probably be able to get a small pour of it for like $10 or something. Certainly don't want to pay $40 a bottle if friends are telling me it's shit. I almost get on the aroma. I almost get like a mint, like a herbaceous mint sort of note. It smells really good. So yeah, I've had a couple of pale ales this week. It's been a good way just to start the two beers after work. I know there's a lot of people out there though. It's like when you're doing pails and macro beers and that, they sort of turn their nose up. But you got to have a bit of a collection, a bit of a mix. It says family and employee owned. That's pretty cool. Like they've probably had a brewer that's worked for the company for years, and yeah, they've probably said, "Look, we're we want to put a bit more money into the business. What's your thoughts on getting on board and investing, sort of thing? Yeah, yeah. So that's a bit what I've been like. But in all honesty, the last few weekends I haven't really been around. I haven't done the usual panel join ups like I normally do. So that's normally where I'll drink a heap of sort of session beers. But yeah, I just ended up sort of doing my own reviews and that, and then didn't have to worry about it. And then Saturday, I obviously went to Melbourne. I reckon we need to try and do Chubbles this weekend. I'm going to hit Paul up too and try and do that Agadoo beer soon. See, I was meant to be doing Cantillon with Josh. I don't even know if he's got the bottle left anymore. Three Fontaine with Joe and maybe Josh as well. Um, yeah, I haven't caught up with Joe for ages. He's just been doing his own stuff, but he just hasn't sort of been on any panels or watching much of anyone else. Yeah, it's pretty shit. I noticed the Carwin Cellars and Anchorage collab that was really expensive. It was up there with the same price as Deal with the Devil. It's now gone down about $70. But yeah, I still think it's way too expensive. I'd love to buy a bottle, but yeah, I just don't think it's worth paying that silly amount for one stout, especially if you've already tried it before. Like I went to that event and got to try it, yeah, for like fucking a fraction of the price. Cheers, g'day. Good to see you, mate. And yeah, I've just finished that beer, so I am well and truly drinking up. I'm going to do another beer after this one. So yeah, I'm just on the Beechworth Pale Ale. So Beechworth is a little town sort of north east of Melbourne. But yeah, they also have a little bar in Melbourne as well, in Brunswick. Pretty cool little area, actually, Beechworth. Cool. There was a beer I was looking at the other day. It was Idaho 7 and I think it was like Strata or something. I thought that's an interesting combo. Sausage Fest. Yeah, quite often I do. It does depend on the brewery though. But yeah, like VB, my favourite macro. I definitely prefer drinking it from the bottle over the can. I feel like though, when it comes to a lot of macros, whether they be stubby or can, I feel like because I drink them out of the glass still, I probably don't notice it as much. But yeah, there's definitely beers when you're drinking them straight out of the can. It's like you get that sort of tinny taste to it. Or like, yeah, obviously your clear bottles where the beer tastes skunked. When it comes to real flash beers, though, like your barrel aged stuff and that, sometimes I find it weird when they're in cans. Like they've always been in bottles and then all of a sudden they change it to cans. Yeah, they bought the whole allotment. God. Oh, what are you doing? Come on. Very frustrating. Yeah, I can't really remember what Luminosa's like. I had it. Mountain Culture did a single hop Luminosa, and yeah, I can't really remember the character of it, or if it was like a decent beer or not. They did a four beer series where there were four random hops, and that was one of them. See, I reckon I might get on to this next one. Um, I'll show you what it is. It's obviously going to be a lot tastier than some of the beers I've had this week. So yeah, they're called Maker Brewing Company, and this is the Mount Cook. Mount Cook's a mountain in, I was going to say Tasmania, New Zealand. So it's a hazy IPA. It's 6.8%, featuring all New Zealand hops. So it's got New Zealand Cascade, which I'm really digging at the moment. Motueka, Nelson Sauvin, and Rawaka. It's cool can artwork. Looks like those blue lakes you get in Canada, in like fucking British Columbia and those sort of provinces. So yeah, I'll tuck into that one shortly. Looking forward to it. So I had a couple of Maker beers on tap on the weekend. First time I'd tried them, and yeah, very nice. Cool. Yeah. See, this is the sort of beer I'd have in the glass that I broke. Now I'm looking at it going, what fucking glass do I use for it? That glass was like my favourite. Whenever it comes to any sort of international beer, some sort of beer with hype in it, it would always be my go-to. Just because a lot of Australian beers, I've got like a brewery glass. But yeah, obviously with American stuff and that, It was like I want to put it in a good glass, and I don't have the brewery glass, so that was always the go-to. I'm gonna have to try and get another one. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and we'll start a newie with the Hazy by Salamaker. So as far as this Bridge Road Pale goes, I was trying to find the can. I've sat it somewhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I feel like this is it's a pretty decent pale. Something I'd definitely go back for. Um, yeah, it's like leans more towards like a American pale ale. So it's 4.8%. The malt's got a bit of like bread, biscuit, and like caramel. And then you've got sort of like subtle citrus, subtle pine, like earth, even like a sort of herbal character. Yeah, really nice. Quaffable, as they say. Yeah, true. I think they want to be able to sell like a 6 pack of them, but yeah, I'm definitely more of a fan of the 440s or the 500s. So yeah, if people are still here, feel free to hit the old like button before you come over to the next. Yeah, looking forward to the next beer. So I'll score for this. I'll just go a solid 4 out of 5. I mean, it's a 4.8 pale ale, so you can't really give it a massive score, but yeah, it's solid. It's decent, and I would definitely drink it again. So cheers, folks, and we'll catch you probably in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll start the next one. Bye bye.